We spoke to Jim Walsh, a research associate at MIT's Security Studies program, about how President Trump will try and convince Kim Jong Un to give up his nuclear weapons.
Well, he's going to make a lot of promises, and he's going to try to say, look, our two countries can be friends. Now, when I've dealt with the North Koreans for over 20 years, and that U.S.-North Korean relationship has gone something like this. The Americans typically say, if you do X, Y, and Z, we can be friends, denuclearize, whatever it may be, human rights. And the North Koreans always respond, well, if we can be friends, then we'd be happy to do some of these things. And I think President Trump, to his credit, has focused on the relationship. But I think my expectations for this summit are low. I think there'll be some announcements. The U.S. will offer some limited sanctions relief. The North Koreans will offer to make limited steps towards denuclearization. But unless they go, and it's always possible with these two, unless they sort of go off on their own and make some big decision, it will be hard for them to announce real substance because they haven't had the preparation. They haven't done the homework. They're really coming to this meeting without having prepared a list of detailed steps that can be taken.
We recall the last summit where what emerged was sort of this four-part agreement. Denuclearization wasn't even the first or the second. It was the third. And I remember there was a lot of debate about, well, what denuclearization means to Donald Trump might be different than what it means to Kim Jong Un. In the days leading up to this summit, though, it almost appeared as if the president was sort of downplaying expectations. He talked to a group of lawmakers, state lawmakers, I believe, and said, what we want to do is go slow. As long as there's no testing, that's a good thing. And the president has gotten a lot of criticism for sort of having a summit and nothing has come of the last summit. But does the president have a point that, no testing is a good thing? The return of some American remains, that's a good thing. And as he likes to point out on a regular basis, a really good relationship with Kim Jong Un, that's a good thing too. And so that makes these sort of summits all worthwhile?
I would say he gets 2 out of 3. I would say, yes, this is going to take time. Remember the Iran nuclear agreement? That took 2 years to negotiate. And that was a situation in which Iran did not have nuclear weapons. All its facilities were declared, and the international inspectors were already on the ground. None of that is true in North Korea. So he is right to say, yes, this will take a long time to negotiate. I think where he's wrong is in thinking, well, as long as we have no testing, everything is hunky-dory, everything's cool. That's not true. And I worry that there has been virtually no progress made in the 7 months since the last summit. So we can't keep having summits for the sake of summits. At some point, someone has to do the hard homework of diplomacy, sitting down week after week, proposals, negotiation, each side doing things it doesn't want to do. That's how you arrive at an agreement. And I think we've sort of given away this first 7 months. So he's partly right. Things are certainly safer than they were when he was threatening Kim at the UN General Assembly. But we can't just stall here. We really have to put our head down and keep moving forward.